and welcome back to video 3 in an 8-part complimentary video series called The Truth About Health. My name is Sue Arnott. I'm the owner of Vitality Lady, and I offer a no-holds-barred approach to living well with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, or post-polio syndrome. I have post-polio syndrome, having grown up with polio as a child, and I am virtually symptom-free because of the way I live, and I bring that expertise and my over 30 years of knowledge as a trainer and a medical exercise specialist to you in these videos. If you don't have an invisible disability or you don't have any health issues, this information would still, I think, be of interest to you. If you do have health issues or you have weight problems, pay close attention. I'm going to cover a lot of things here. Nutrition is a huge subject I could talk about for hours, but for the purposes of time with this short video, you might want to hit pause and grab a pad of paper and a pen and maybe take down a few notes. Because I'm going to be covering quite a few different things. I'm going to be talking about supplements and what to eat and what not to eat and so on. What the body does with the food that you eat, why raw actually is better for you and it's something to move towards. How to eat well if you have no time and you're too busy. What in food makes you sick and what makes you overweight, and what you can do now to change. Why is knowing this important? Well, because as you get older, you want to live well. You know, as I said in my previous video, we're living too short and we're dying too long. We're living in sick bodies. We're not feeling well. We're not sleeping. We're not happy, and we don't have the energy that we feel we need to project out into the world. And today, food is very toxic. It's chemicalized, it's processed, and it deposits unnatural additives and chemicals into your body, and these additives and chemicals combine together and they form unknown carcinogens that deposit into your fat cells and your organs, and nobody knows what they are, and they stay in your organs. This creates weight issues. It creates illness and sickness, and it's just not a good way to be. So if you want to feel youthful, if you want to feel younger than your age, if you want to be permanently lean, never have to worry about weight issues again, if you want to have energy and you want to have clear thinking, and be free of disease, if you want to age not having to worry about having a test for this and test for that and so on, your body must be clean to work. It's like if you had a car, and we're way more complicated than a car, so please don't compare yourself to a car. But if a car is, if you never change the oil, and maybe you're siphoning gas out of another car over and over again, and you put horrible dirty gas in it, eventually things are going to break down. Well, the same thing happens in your body. For all of your organs to work, they must be clean, and they must be taken care of. And nutrition, even though it's a tool in your toolbox of health, you still need to drink water and move more and think differently, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that you can do to contribute to your health. Nutrition to me is by far the most important, because if you don't get it right, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be optimal. It needs to be really good. It needs to be simple, but nutrition is keeping your body clean and keeping your body well, and so to me it is the most important. You cannot be healthy unless you look at this, and you look at it very, very seriously. So I think for today's video, because there's so many things I could talk about, I just want to address today the 3 most common elements or comments that I've heard people say to me over 30 years. Number 1 is I'm confused. I don't know what to eat or when to eat. Number 2 is I don't have time to cook. I'm too busy. Number 3 is fresh food is too expensive. I can't afford it. So I'm going to address that today. And as we go through this video, you'll start to get answers to those questions. But just briefly, when people say I don't know what to eat, I'm just going to say very simply, keep it simple. Look at what Mother Nature grows and don't touch it. Try not to cook it unless it's a grain. And even then you can sprout those. And just keep it really, really simple. You don't need to know where vitamin A is or where vitamin D is, or you don't need to know all that stuff. That's the food industry keeping you confused. You just need to keep it simple. Fruits and vegetables and grains and seaweeds and wheatgrass, water, just in its natural form. Okay, so that's number one, keep it simple. I don't have time to cook. Well, you know, you've got to think ahead. You've got to sort of say, well, look, I'm going to be busy on Monday night, so I think on Sunday morning I'm going to prepare this. Some recipes you can maybe do a little bit in the morning and then get to it later on in the day. You've got to think ahead, so that when you are busy, the food is already in the fridge, ready to go. This is something I've got so many tricks and recommendations that I give people as to how they can do this. But I mean, I'm looking after 2 companies, and I've got kids and grandkids and a house, and just the same as you do, I'm busy as well. And I'm also looking after a disability. So I really have to think ahead, and you can do it, and I can show you how to do that. I can't afford fresh food, it's too pricey. Well, as we move through this video, you're going to see, perhaps start thinking about where your money actually is going. Yes, it's pricey, but if you're buying things like supplements, they're hugely expensive. That money would be much better spent on whole unprocessed food. So we'll talk about that. Like I say, your body only recognizes whole unprocessed food. It doesn't recognize anything else. It's that simple. Is raw better? Yes, I believe it is, because when you cook something over a temperature of 115 degrees, it does kill off nutrients. And this is a bit of an issue I got into before I was diagnosed with post-polio syndrome. I always had weight problems. I taught a lot of fitness classes. I was very, very fit, but there was always that few pounds that wouldn't come off despite all the activity I was doing. The reason was I was cooking my food, and as my daughter says, I overcook my food. I was killing off all the nutrients. So is raw better? Today, yes, I believe it is, because there are not the nutrients in the food that they used to be, and some foods are like 50% less nutritionally dense than they used to be because of our soils. So the more raw food you can eat, the better. And a lot of people think, well, I have to eat a carrot, I have to eat celery sticks. No, no, no. There's some wonderful people out there who have come out with some ingenious ways to create some delicious recipes. Like I share recipes for some of the most yummy cakes and cheeses and soups and desserts you can ever imagine, all made out of raw food. So, you know, we do need to eat the fruits and the vegetables and the sea vegetables and the wheatgrass and so on. That's what our body knows, and to drink water. If you do that, you won't have the toxicity in your body. You won't have the sludge depositing in your body. And therefore you won't be ill, and you won't have weight issues. And your organs will be able to do the job that they're there to do. Okay, so living this way and changing, and this is going to take you time to do this, by the way. Don't go from where you are now to eating a whole raw diet. You're not going to feel well, and your body will fight you back. So do it slowly, and it's not something that you have to conform to. You've got to change your life. No, 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 no. It can conform to you. It's a learning process. But it can conform to you, and it does very nicely for me, I can tell you. So let's get to the top 10 ways to eat better. Number one, and this is number one, most definitely, because I've seen this over and over again, where people get these beliefs and they won't let go of them, they're too attached to them. Clear your head of all nonsense. All the foods you think are healthy or not, all the foods that claim they can help you lose weight, you'll never be well again unless you let go of all these beliefs. It's a waste of time. You will stay where you are if you continue to believe those things. These and maybe some of them are written in stone, but please let them go. It's nonsense. And if you don't let them go, you will stay where you are, and it will get worse as you get older. Your beliefs regarding things like calcium, I have to take supplements to prevent osteoporosis, is absolute nonsense. In fact, calcium supplements can actually lead to osteoporosis. I need more protein. It's all designed to drive sales. I need low carbohydrate, I need low fat, low sugar. These are the kind of beliefs that got you where you are today with your health. Things like products made with soy. Soy is one of the most dangerous things you can eat. The casein in milk is the #1 cause of cancer, food-related cancer. All these claims on these food products like, light, lean, non-fat, they're all designed, these products are designed to make you fatter so you go back and buy more. Energy bars, fat-free, sugar-free yogurts, Crystal Light, diet sodas, diet jellos, they're all going to increase the toxicity in your body, and they're all driven by profits. So you need to let that go. Until you let that go, nothing will change for you, and you will continue to stay where you are and get worse. So let that go. Say that doesn't matter anymore. I don't believe it. I'm going to do things differently now. Okay. Number 2, supplements. I could do a whole week on supplements. Supplements, over 95% of them are chemicals, definitely increasing to the toxicity in your body. Once you're eating well and you're eating a whole, preferably raw food diet, you really do not need supplements. The markup on supplements is about 2,000%, and I have to show you something. I get things in the mail that drive me crazy. Things like this. Look at this. This is a very expensive publication. It's horrible. If you're buying into this sort of thing, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. These people are selling pills, and these pills are chemicals, and they are storing in your system as toxic waste. This is based, what they've done is they've taken 2 ingredients that is in food, and they're marketing those ingredients in a pill form that say they protect your eyesight. Yes, these 2 ingredients protect your eyesight, but in the pill form it will not be used because your body cannot recognize what's here. In a food form, like in leafy greens, those two items will be eaten in the leafy green along with whatever other phytonutrients, most of which we don't know about, to help you absorb those nutrients. It will not happen with this. This is very expensive, so they're making a lot of money. So supplements, it's all hype. And even the ones right now, like I say, 95% plus are chemicals. Even ascorbic acid, by the way, is not vitamin C, it's a chemical. A lot are made in China. They're very toxic. Now you're getting a lot of whole food supplements coming out now, but there are legal loopholes with those, so really check on those. I have to say, there's no animal in the forest that gives 2 hoots what the Surgeon General's recommendation is for calcium. And none of them have osteoporosis. So please remember that. Get your nutrients from food. Only the food knows how to absorb these. We don't even know what's in food, so how can we ever think to emulate it in something like that? So, and they're very expensive as well. You can buy a lot of food with the money you're spending on supplements. So please be very careful what you buy into. Number 3, detoxing. We all need to detox. We all need to keep our body clean. Some of us need to do it more than others, depending on your nutritional history. It's unlikely that there's any product out there that can do it. Maybe the products can release some of the toxins from your organs, but when you look at the systems your body used to eliminate those toxins, highly doubt that many of these products, or if any of them, can do that. Your body can clean itself. Use plants, eat plants and chia and lots of water, and your body can clean itself. So again, be careful what you buy into. They're very expensive, and there's a lot of hype surrounding that as well. If your body contains a lot of toxic sludge, which basically is undigested food and chemicals, your organs will never function properly. You'll always have a weight problem, no matter how much you move or whatever, and it will always lead to illness. So please remember that. One of the things, and I will mention this as number 5, that I do with my clients is I take them to a grocery store. And if it's a high-end grocery store like a Whole Foods or a Goodness Me in the neighborhood, then that's even better. But I teach them how to see labels differently. I teach them how to look for different things with labels. Now, like as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that you need to do if you want to move to a raw food diet is don't do it straight away. Start doing it slowly. And one of the things I teach people is how to buy foods that will help you in your transition, that are not going to add sludge and chemicals to the body. So that's a good thing to do as well, is really get into reading food labels and be aware of ingredients that you are familiar with seeing all the time. You think, oh, that's okay, I said everything. For example, carrageenan, pardon me, is a very dangerous thing, and you see it in everything. You see it in yogurts, you see it in cheeses, and creams and so on. And you do not want that in your body. That's very, very toxic. So be aware of that as well. Don't just think, oh, I've seen that before, so it's got to be okay. It's not okay. So educate yourself in the grocery store. So number 7, ensure you eat alive food. What do I mean by that? Well, plant foods and whole foods are alive. They fell off a tree, they came out of the ground. Alive food equals a live body. Dead food equals a dead body. So if you're living on food in boxes, you're not feeling very good. If you eat food that's alive, it's great. Now I'm going to do a short demo here. One of the things that's very, very, very good for you are sprouts. And sprouts you can grow yourself in your kitchen. Some are grown in soil, and I tend to do more of that in the summer. And others you can grow in sprouting bags. You can grow them in little sprouters that you can buy. I tend to use jars because it's simple and it's fast. There's a lot of different legumes and beans you can sprout, but I'm just going to show you for the sake of simplicity, a very simple thing you can do right now. So you take a jar. Just a regular jar, I think that's about a ½ liter, and a 2-part lid, okay? And take the middle part out, and I use this little mesh screen. I bought this online from a sprouting store. You can use fine mesh, like a kind of a wedding veil type mesh, and you put that inside your lid, okay? So I have a packet of chickpeas here, so I just put maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of chickpeas in the jar. Top it up with water, filtered water. Don't, make sure the water doesn't run through your water softener. So just make sure it's covered 2 or 3 inches. Put your lid on and let it sit for overnight, maybe 7 or 8 hours. And if I could get the lid on, that would be good. Make it sit overnight. And then what you want to do is you want to rinse it. Now if you can rinse, you can sprout. And trust me, every plant that comes into my house usually dies. So if I can grow them, so can you. So in the morning, what you do is you just empty the water out. And you put more water in. Cover them up. Shake them around. Empty the water out. Do it about 4 times. And then leave it at an angle. Okay, at an angle, like that. Either in a dish drainer or sitting in a bowl or whatever, and you just leave it. And then at night, about 8 hours later or so, you do the same thing. And you do this for about 3 days. And what you end up with is a little chickpea with a little tail. And the tail is usually about as long as the chickpea is wide. And that's it. That's all you do. 2 or 3 days. Rinse, empty, 4 times. Do it 2 or 3 days. And then you've got sprouted chickpeas. You've got nutrition times 10. Those chickpeas, the nutrition, because of what's happened enzymatically, you've got 10 times more nutrition in those chickpeas. So you can throw them on soups, throw them in tacos, in sandwiches, on salads, anything at all. So get started with that. Have a go with that. And really get to learn about sprouting. It's something that I do all the time, and I do teach other people how to do it. So that was tip number 7. So make sure your food is alive. Tip number 8, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. If you've been eating or falling for this sort of thing, if you've been eating bad food, or if somebody fed you bad food when you were younger, so what? Just let it go. Forgive yourself. Just say, today I'm going to start doing something differently, and see food as a way of loving yourself, loving your family, because what you learn you're going to bring to your family, and you're going to raise healthier kids. And so see yourself, see your food as being pleasurable, as self-loving and self-nurturing, and really see it differently. And by the way, when you go grocery shopping, I sometimes have food delivered, groceries delivered, because sometimes I can't get to it, and I don't stress out about that. But I love going to the grocery store. I don't see it as a hassle. I enjoy it. I'm playing with my food. Okay, so change your thoughts about some of these things. Oh, I've got to go grocery shop. No. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you're seeing. Enjoy what you're learning. Go with a friend. Like, do whatever, but don't see it as a hassle. Really see this as something that you're loving to do. So number 8 was forgive yourself. Number 10, should I eat 3 times a day or 5 or 6 times a day? Well, I don't want you to worry about that right now. I really don't. There's too much to focus on right now. All you want to focus on is learning how to eat different things. Forget the how often should I eat, but I will tell you, again, that's marketing hype. Everybody should eat 5 or 6 times a day. Well, everybody shouldn't. It depends how your blood sugar works in your body. There are some very good studies that are saying some people, their blood sugar works more slowly in their body. If they eat 5 or 6 times a day, they're going to gain weight. They need to have a longer space between their meals. Okay, some people need a shorter space. So don't worry about that right now. Just get that out of your head, and just think about, like, all I'm going to do is focus right now is how to associate my health with eating better things. Okay, so I think that's it. That's I think what I want to say too is I want you to start slowly. Like I said, mentioned before, is don't rush into this. Just take come up with 1 or 2 ways to eat better and implement that. That's your 30-day challenge. I'm giving you a 30-day challenge right now. Pick 1 or 2 ways to eat better and just do that for 30 days. And then just keep going with it. Add 1 or 2 more, add 1 or 2 more. So, and the other thing I want you to do as well is, I think what I want to suggest as well is get rid of all of the garbage food out of your kitchen. Really figure out what it is and get rid of it all. And here's a suggestion: maybe bring less garbage into your house when it comes to food tomorrow, and then the next time we go shopping, buy even less, and keep replacing the garbagey food with good healthy food, and buy more good healthy fruits and vegetables than you need. Okay, because then you'll eat it. You don't want to get hungry. You don't want to skip meals. Okay, so there's a couple of other ideas. I don't know you personally, so I don't know where to tell you to start. But understand that anybody can tell you what to eat and when to eat. The ultimate person you want to listen to is you. You're the only one that can keep you healthy. Okay, and also remember that your doctor and naturopath is also approached by the drug companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the vitamin companies, and maybe what they're buying into isn't necessarily the right thing as well. So start being your own advocate for your own health, and really sort of learn how to do this. And as I mentioned, nutrition is just a tool in your toolbox. We are talking about other things as well to be well, but this is the most important tool. You can eat cream, you can eat butter, but again, you've got to look at the nutrition. You've got to look at what's in it. Okay, you can actually eat a little bit of cheese, but again, look at what's in it. You really have to be organized and educated in terms of what's in the food you're eating. So I think that's it for me for now. Next week I'm going to talk about hydration. Your body's crying out for water. It really is, and I'm going to share some things with you that I think are going to be quite enlightening and surprising. And so please join me next Friday. If you need more information about nutrition, you can go to my website at www.vitalitylady.ca and click on You Are What You Eat. If you like the information in this video, please comment below, and I'd love it if you would share it. And if I can help you again with anything, just drop me a quick email, and I wish you a very good week. I thank you for joining me. I'm excited for you because I know you can do this, and I know you want to age well, and I know you want to sort of keep skiing when you're 70, 80, 90, and 100, and this is a really good way to do it. And if you're not a skier, whatever it is you love to do, you gotta look at this, okay? So have a great week, and bye-bye for now.